Hey, seventh grade, welcome to Thursday, and here we are again, and we'll kind of get into the lesson. Again, yesterday we started off with chapter 11 with integers, and so yesterday we were just talking about just the basic idea about integers, positive and negative numbers, and comparing the positive and negative numbers, and if you're still kind of struggling with that, ask me some questions or go back and play the videos again, and reread the instructions, explanations, and everything in the book. So I'm going to just read to you the answers here on page 44 real quick. Some of them I'll just have to try to describe to you. But for number 2, when it says graph, at least on the end of it, it says a separate number line. So that's graphing, okay? And so on number 2, you would have had a number line with 0 and positive numbers on the right, negative numbers on the left, and you would have had a dot on -5. So 5 spaces to the left of 0. That should be, those are all your negative numbers, and the 5 spaces would be in -5. Okay? On number 4, you'd have a number line. Again, 0, negative numbers on the left, positive numbers on the right, and on the right-hand side, all the way out at 9, you would have a dot. Number 6, you would have a number line. Still not a bad idea to have negative numbers on the left, positive numbers on the right, but you'd have a dot right there in the middle, or depending on how you made your number line, on 0. Okay? And then number 8, you'd have your number line, and you'd have a dot on -2. So 2 places to the left of the 0. All right? Now, when you get to these next ones, you're writing the integer that's described. So number 10, the integer would be -12. And number 12, it would be 1,000. It's a positive 1,000. Number 14 would be a -18. Number 16 would be $10, because if you have a profit, you made that money. You don't owe that money. That would be on the negative side. So it would be a positive 10. And number 18 would be a -210. Okay? Number 20, 0 is greater than -5. 22, -1 is greater than -5. 24, -30 is less than -20. And 26, 8 is greater than -11. Okay? 28, writing those in order from least to greatest. It would go -5, -3, -2, 0. Number 30, -9, -6, -4, -2, 2, and 3. 32, -4, -1, 1, 2, 3. 34, 0. 36, positive 30, or 30. 38, -9. Okay, number 40 would be -9. 42 would be 1. 44, -15. All right? Okay. So, now let's just look over here at page 485. Notice 485, 11.2. This is called absolute value. Absolute value. Okay? Notice what it tells you. It tells you there that absolute value is a distance. Okay? It's a distance away from 0. All right? The thing about absolute value is, again, if we take our number line, we have 0 in the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. On the other side, -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Now, if we are looking at this number line, and let's say, let me see what one of their examples was. Well, they were talking about 3 and -3. So if I put a dot right here, and you don't have to put a dot, but put a dot at 3 and -3. Now, all we want to do is measure the distance from 0. Okay? So here, I've got 1, 2, 3. 3 jumps, 3 steps. Okay? If that was inches, 3 inches. All right? From 0. 3 units from 0. Now, I've got -3. 1, 2, 3 units, 3 steps, 3 jumps, whatever. Okay? So, if I'm talking about their distance from 0, +3 is 3 away from 0. And -3 is 3 away from 0. All right? So then it shows you the symbol. So the symbol for absolute value is, it looks like 2 parallel lines. Okay? And so if I, for instance, if I did this, I would read that the absolute value of 3, or the absolute value of -3. Okay? The absolute value of -3 is 3. That just tells you that it's 3 away from 0. So they even use the generic or general form where they have that. And that just reads the absolute value of x. So then whatever number you would put in there, its absolute value is not going to be positive or negative. It's just going to be the number of spaces it is away from 0. So actually, if I look at the absolute value of 3, the absolute value of 3 is also 3. So whether it's -3 or +3, its absolute value is 3. So if I had this, so if I read that, the absolute value of -150 is 150. Okay? So again, it doesn't matter whether it's a positive number or a negative number. It's talking about the absolute value, the distance from for the distance from 0. Okay? So that's what you see there with example number 1 and skill check 1. Now, let's just look. Let's use example 2 as an example here, or something to show you. So notice, and you have to be careful with this, because notice it has the absolute value sign here, and inside it I have 52 minus 8 times 5. All right? And then over 10. So notice in this problem, the absolute value sign is not on the whole thing. It's only on the divisor, or on the numerator. Okay? And we treat this kind of like parentheses. So we have to do what's inside the absolute value sign first. Okay? And so now, again, we've got a subtraction here and a multiplication. So in the order of operations, we would have to do the multiplication first. So that would be 52 minus 8 times 4, 8 times 5, sorry. 8 times 5 is 40. All right? So we have 52 minus 40 is 12. So what that's saying now then is the absolute value of 12 over 10. So the absolute value of 12 is 12 over 10. Okay? So since it said simplify, I'm not done yet. I've got an improper fraction. So that would be 1 and 2/10. 1 and 2/10, which simplified would be 1 and 1/5. So this thing, this equation, simplified is 1 and 1/5. Okay? So when you look over and so here's another, look at that example 3. Let's do that one together. So notice it has 3, and then it has absolute value sign and a -1, or -8, sorry, plus 4. Okay? Remember what this means. When you've got a number and you've got no sign, and then another number, that means multiply. So what this really means is 3 times the absolute value of -8 plus 4. So what's the absolute value of -8? It's 8 spaces away from 0, so that's going to mean 3 times 8 plus 4. So then 3 times 8 is 24 plus 4 is 28. Okay, and that's what they show you in the example. All right, so hope that helps you. So, again, if you go out, if you look, there's a new revised master checklist out there. It was just put out this afternoon. But if you look at that, your assignment for tonight is 11.2, okay, evens on, and that's on page 487. And that's it, okay? Not doing 2 lessons a day. All right? So 11.2 for today. All right? And then you should notice on that master list too that there will be an assignment on Friday. Okay? So we're adding that back in. And again, next week there'll be 1 lesson each day, and there will be an assignment next Friday. All right? So hope that helps you. Take care. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of your parents. They're under an awful lot of stress and everything right now with all this, quarantine stuff and trying to do the right things to keep you safe and trying to help you. Some of your parents are working all day and then coming home and trying to help you. And also, let's take good care of your parents. You know, do your chores without complaining. You know, maybe even do something that's not your chores, but you know would help and relieve some of the pressure and everything on your parents. Okay, we're all feeling it. We're all under stress and got a lot of stuff that's on our minds, a lot of stuff going on, and so do what you can to lighten the load a little bit. Take care of them. Okay. So, all right. God bless.